Well, looks like today we're gonna take a Miata. I have a black one over there, but it's a 2023 and none of the tires match. So this one's a cool color, and my stuff barely fits in the trunk. We'll see if it fits. All right, it fits. We can take it. Gotta love the soul red. Soul red color. I'm in Texas, so who knows how much we're gonna put the roof down, but I can't help myself. I like lightweight, high revving cars, so here we are. In a Miata. I've rented these before. This one's pretty well equipped. It has the speakers in here. It has ventilated seats, which will be good in Texas. It's got AC. Actually, it looks like it just has heated seats. That's not going to do me any good here in Texas. Let's see here, 19,000 miles. Why not? You only live once. Take the Miata. I wish they rented cars with manual transmissions. This is going to ruin all the fun. But it has pretty crappy Westlake tires on the back, so I think I'm still going to have some fun with this one. Let's see how Mazda, this is a 2-liter engine making 181 horsepower. So 0.2 more of a liter and 1 horsepower more than my 20-year-old Toyota Matrix. Let's see what it's all about. So first driving impressions is I'm impressed. I actually fit. I haven't fit in a Miata since the NC generation. The 2006 to 2015 generation? Yeah. 14 or 15 they made that till. Didn't fit in a Miata until then. I've had NA Miatas, you know, the original pop-up headlights one. I've had NB Miatas. I haven't fit in any of them. I mean, I would still drive them, but I really didn't fit. I actually fit in this one, and it's kind of interesting. The reason is they made the wheel tilt and telescope finally. I don't know what took them so long, but wow, the engine's buzzy and loud. And so's the tire noise. It is deafening. Now, I'm not going to judge it for that. This is a rental car. These are crappy tires, and they're not gonna be a better shape when I'm done with it this week. I can assure you of that. But yeah, surprisingly, I fit. I'm not gonna say I'm comfortable, but I fit. The trans tunnel is massive in this, so the space in between your legs is tight. Driving this with a manual would be about as tight as it could be. So yeah, I'll get you guys some more driver impressions here. I'll get it out on the highway and let it sing a little bit. All right, let's see about power getting on the freeway here. Well, it's pretty underwhelming, honestly. Especially because I have a car with 180 horsepower that I drove to the airport today. At 5,000 feet elevation, that feels more powerful than this. And it's not just feeling more powerful. This engine does not really like revving. Like it doesn't want me to keep going. You can tell that this is not a short stroke engine that enjoys revving. It gets really buzzy, and the torque is dropping off at high RPMs. I don't know. You know, the crazy thing is, this is the upgraded version. This is the high revving version. Originally, this only revved to, I want to say 6,500, and then they raised it to, I believe, 7,400. It's weird though. It's a moving rev limiter. I've rented these before. It can only do it 2 or 3 times. If you try and go through all the gears, it actually won't rev all the way out to 7,400. And in all honesty, the party's over at about 6,500 anyway. Those last 1,000 revs, I think, are just to save you on a track, because it's definitely not making any usable power. And if you've had a VTEC Honda or a 2ZZ or a SR20 Nissan, or hell, even the twin cam engine in my Tracker, so basically any double overhead cam Japanese engine in the 90s and 2000s was freer revving than this. It's kind of disappointing that still in 2025, I know a Miata is not about the engine, but the engine's so bad that it becomes about the engine. And guys, no one could say I'm not all about NA, screamers. Watch my other videos. I love NA engines. I don't know. This engine is really bad. Let's talk about something else. So I had an MR2 Spider, which that was a 2001. I had a 2003. I also had a 2004. Really like those cars. They're 2,100 pounds, 2,200 with all the safety equipment and everything. We'll call it 2,200 pounds. They have 138 horsepower, but they're so light and feel it. Now, granted, this is the hardtop version, so I'm adding 100 pounds in the worst place with this, but this car doesn't really feel that light. It doesn't really feel that eager. You'd think it would, and I wish it was. I wish it felt like how I thought it would, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel all that athletic. The body roll is really heavy on these, and it just doesn't encourage me to do, hood rat things with my friends. So, and again, I wish it did. I want to like this thing. Oh man, I know I don't like how people drive in Texas, I can tell you that. But yeah, I wish it lit my heart on fire a little more. Now, fitting in it is a good start, but still has a ton of wind noise. The ride is awful. The engine is buzzy and loud. I mean, compare this to an S2000, there is no comparison. There's a reason why S2000s sell for 4 times as much as a Miata. An S2000 screams to redline. The steering, the suspension, it's always egging you on to go a little faster. I can't say that I have the same feeling in this. This sits in a weird place too, because they're not that cheap. Like one equipped like this, heated seats, the retractable hardtop, you're over 40 grand. At 40 grand, I'm looking at a 6-month-old BMW. I'm looking at a Camaro SS with with awesome handling, 455 horsepower. I'm looking at, and if we go a little more used, God, you can get a lot of car for 40 grand. I don't understand these. I should like Miatas. I like lightweight. I like rear-wheel drive. I like NA engines. I don't know. This car just doesn't do it for me. The steering is really bad on these. It's just dead. It's an electric power steering rack, and that used to be the hallmark characteristic of a Miata. The steering feel was really good. They were light. They were nimble. Now, this does have 4-wheel independent suspension, and it is NA, and it is relatively light. There's just something missing here. I know everybody gushes over this generation. It's never done anything for me. Honestly, I prefer the previous generation. The NC engine seems to rev a lot freer. One revs a lot freer. 2, I fit in it a lot better. And 3, the retractable hardtop is actually a retractable hardtop, not this weird target top that's kind of retractable, which I'll show you guys here. So, I don't know. Never really liked this generation. Figured I'd give it another shot. It's been a couple years since I drove one. It's all coming back to me, though. Still, as of, the first 30 minutes, not a fan. A couple more random thoughts. This interior space is terrible. Yeah, the materials are nice, and I like how this continues with the body color. And like I said, the seating position's not terrible for a Miata. I mean, still, your legs are in a weird, uncomfortable... It's weird. They kind of like drop down more at the bottom. I don't know. People say F-body or a Corvette's uncomfortable. They've never been in a Miata. But for a Miata, it's fine. And, you know, everything's a decent quality. The infotainment works pretty good. But the cup holders, I mean, yes, you could take one out and put it over here, which I'll do later, but how do they not have cup holders? I mean, the trans tunnel thing, it's just ridiculous. Like, they went too far on the compromises for this. And I know they said, well, it was all about making it light, and we made it, you know, a tenth of a pound lighter or whatever. But, I mean, was it worth it? You don't even have a cup holder. You have no room. The trunk is tiny. Was it worth it? I don't think it was worth it. I got it in sport mode and the traction control off. Let's see if it accelerates any better with those things. No. And like right there, I let off because I just don't want to rev this engine. There's plenty of room in front of me. Here, I'll do it again, but just very industrial sounding and feeling, really not exciting at all. Does not fit the character of the car whatsoever. I don't know. I don't get it. You know what I am going to get it? I'm going to take this thing out tonight and take the roof off, and maybe I'll get it then. I hope so, because right now, you know, the Miata Club's going to come for me, but I wouldn't care if they canceled this car. It's just doing nothing for me. And I am a diehard car guy. I don't get it. I don't get it. Hopefully I get it when we remove this weird retractable hardtop thing later. Hopefully I'll get it then. Maybe I'll like it better at lower speeds. Let's give this a try here. Still don't like it. What is that engine note? I mean, it's not exhaust. What is it? It's not exhaust. It's not induction. It just sounds like ass. I don't know. Miatas have always had pretty bad engines, but this might be the worst engine they've ever put in a Miata, honestly. And this is the better one. I couldn't imagine this thing with a lower red line. It'd be even worse. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the FRS, BRZ, whatever Toyota and Subaru decide to call it today. FRS, BRZ, GT86, where they said, oh, the car's not about the engine, but the engine is so bad that it kind of becomes about the engine. I'm going to try and evaluate the other characteristics here, like the handling and braking and everything like that. But so far, the handling has been pretty disappointing as well. It's just, it wallows all over the place. Like right here. I thought I'd be able to kick the rear out, but again, because this thing has a combination of no torque, no horsepower, I don't know. Still not getting it. Really hoping the Topless experience helps me appreciate this a little more, because as of now, I think I made a mistake getting this thing for the week. Okay, I'm getting a little better at this. I put it in manual mode and it actually holds third gear so it actually holds the gear, which is nice. It doesn't automatically downshift, and it lets you downshift to pretty high RPMs, which is nice. Definitely makes the engine feel more responsive, shifting yourself, but again, the ride is like right here, yes, it's kind of broken pavement, but it just jiggles around so much that I don't really want to push it. It's not confidence inspiring, I can tell you that. Here, let's... Yeah, the engine's still a piece of crap. But it definitely is more fun staying in a gear. Yeah, let's see. Maybe it'll get better with the roof off. I'm gonna shift it so I don't have to listen to it. When an engine sounds so bad that you want it at low RPM, is it really a driver's car? I cannot get over how bad this suspension is. I know Miata guys like to make excuses and go, oh, you can feel the body roll and it makes you a better driver. And this isn't even about body roll. Somehow this thing rides like shit, but it's also not firmly sprung. Like it rides firm, but the body roll is immense and it just dances over all surfaces. This is just a terribly engineered vehicle. I'm sorry, it is. I don't give a shit. Miata Mafia, come for me. I don't give a shit. This thing sucks. All right, time for the real test. Let's take the top down and see if this thing does any better. All right, so this is the RF, which means that this back window goes down too, but this pillar stays. You'll see what I mean. It's weird if you haven't seen one of these. So putting the roof down is simple. Just one switch here. Oh, and by the way, I moved the cup holder over there. Still really flimsy, but at least it's not hitting my elbow. So you just hit this button right here. Right here. Well, maybe hit it the other way. There you go. And you watch the top do its magic. It's kind of interesting because back window's open with a wind deflector. You still have, it's like a target top. And the wind noise is crazy if you leave these windows up. You actually have to put them down. But man, it's a good looking car. Mazda definitely knew what they were doing on the appearance side. This thing looks the part. Let's see if it drives any better with the top down. Let's see if I can forgive its, well, it's everything. Hey, one-touch windows. Look at that. Luxurious. Okay. So getting inside here, I mean, you have a mostly open air experience. You definitely can still feel that right behind your head. And you can even see where it would create a bunch of wind noise. And boy, does it. I'm about to show you. So without further ado, let's go for a little drive. All right, we got it in sport. We got traction turned off. We got the roof off. Let's see what she does. Well, still slow. Not just slow, this engine still sucks. Here, let's lock it in second here. See if we can break her loose a little here. Nope. Nope, the stability control is like ever present in this. I mean, I've tried to, here, I'll show you. I'll dive into this corner and lift. This thing should spin out. They've definitely got it programmed. They've definitely got it programmed for safety. See, I lifted there, got back on it. I got a little sideways. Man, is this thing slow. Wow. And the wind buffeting is crazy. I might actually have to put the windows up. Hang on. That is crazy. Oh, with the windows up, it's even worse. What a poorly engineered vehicle. Wow. I don't know if you can hear this, but wow. I might have to pull over and put the roof back on. This is absurd. This is absurd. This wind noise is ridiculous. I've tried a little bit of everything. I've tried the windows cracked. I've tried fully up. I've tried fully down. Actually, fully down might be the quietest. But goddamn, is this engine terrible. Miata RF any better with the roof off? No! This wind buffeting is ridiculous. My 2000 Firebird with T-tops has way less wind buffeting than this. This is insane. I feel like I'm in one of those machines where they spread money around and people try and grab it. This is ridiculous. Mazda RF, Miata MX-5, whatever. 2 thumbs down from me. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but the wind comes in the stupid, little back window that goes away. It comes in right on your right ear, right where my phone is. And it's deafening. The wind on the left side is not terrible, and I like a little wind in my hair. Hey, that's why you get a convertible. But this isn't wind in your hair, this is wind in your ear, and it's violent and loud. What is the point of a convertible that's a shitty experience with the top off? I just don't get it. I don't get this car. Again, my MR2 Spider was quicker on its feet, way quieter, way more interior room, much more fun to drive, and you could drive it with the top down at 120 miles an hour and have a conversation. This thing is poorly engineered, the engine is terrible, the suspension is terrible. I don't care what the Miata people say, I don't care what they do to me. Miata is not always the answer. This thing sucks, okay? As a car enthusiast, as a guy who loves high revving engines, as a guy who loves lightweight, as a guy who loves convertibles, I have a convertible tracker, 2 T-top Firebirds. I wouldn't buy a Matrix XRS without a sunroof. I need open air. I love open air. This is a terrible experience. This is the worst convertible I've been in since a Chrysler Sebring in 2001. This thing sucks. All right, now that highway hell was over, we are definitely putting the roof up. Had to go to a Buc-ee's though. Can't go to Texas and not go to a Buc-ee's. So at speeds below 50, it's quiet. It's nice. Once you get above 50, this thing is undrivable with the top down, which is a goddamn shame. That's why you get a convertible, to drive it with the roof off. I mean, I had a Fiat 500C, had an MR2 Spider, had a couple Volkswagen Cabrios. I've got a Tracker, that's a convertible. I've had Jeep Wranglers. I've had tons of Saab convertibles. I've had Chrysler Sebrings. I mean, I've literally had it all. And I gotta say, this is the worst top-down experience of any vehicle I've ever been in. I had an Oldsmobile Cutlass Custom, a 1992 convertible. I've had BMW Z3s. I mean, you guys are kind of getting the picture. I like convertibles. That's an understatement. I love convertibles. This is a terrible convertible. It's also a terrible car all around. I think it's telling that automotive journalists praise this thing and pretend it's the second coming of Christ. It is extremely dishonest. The only convertible I've ever been in that I couldn't wait to put the top up. MX-5. The only convertible I couldn't wait to put the top back up on. MX-5 RF. What a piece of shit. So even though I don't like this thing, I'm going to give it, the full tour here. And what the heck? They put the cat here like an F-body. I can't even get in the passenger side. My legs do not fit. That is crazy. Yeah, the amount of compromises. No glove box either. And This is the interesting cup holder setup. And then this is your console. I mean, your glove box. Yeah, it's very compromised, but like I said, it looks cool. I get why people buy them if they want something that looks cool. And honestly, if you keep the speeds low, if you just live by the beach or something, keep it under 50, I kind of get it. I'm just kidding. No, I don't. At $40,000, you'd be insane to buy one of these instead of a Mustang GT, Camaro SS, or be like me, you could buy 7 or 8 cars that do everything better, that are actually interesting. But that's a whole other topic for another day. This is pretty crazy. With the roof up, you're still getting a ton of noise. And this is the hardtop one. You know, the previous generation Miata with the roof up was pretty quiet. It's something I would drive cross country, an NC Miata. This, I don't even want to drive 20 minutes back to the hotel. This ride is ridiculous. It's so bumpy. And how they made the steering have no feel. The Tahoe I rented last week had better steering feel than this. This ride, I'm not shaking the camera or anything. This is how bad the ride is. I'm telling you, this thing is... I don't know how people can pretend to enjoy this. There's nothing enjoyable about this car. It's crazy. I drove a Tracker 1,000 miles. There's wind noise coming from the A pillar, from the B pillar, from the back window. And this thing has 19,000 miles on it. Come on, Mazda. Come on. I know you can do better than this. I know you can. I've been in a 323 GTX. I like MX-5s. I do. Not this one, but I've liked them. I've owned them in the past. I like CX-5s too. I like the CX-90. I rented a CX-90. I loved it. The CX-50's great. The Mazda 6 was great. The Mazda 3 is still cool. It comes with a manual transmission or turbo and all-wheel drive. I don't know. This is just not doing it for me. Nothing about this car is pressing any buttons for me. Especially not this engine. What the hell? Oh, going 70. Trying to keep it straight. There's so many steering corrections. I drove a 85 square body Suburban cross country. You can watch the video on my YouTube. Then I didn't have to do as many steering corrections as this Miata. What? I mean, it feels like I'm driving a boat. I mean, the body roll is nauseating. Like, I get it. You put some sway bars, some different shocks, some different tires, and I'm sure it handles a lot better, but this is just unacceptable. The way this thing drives is completely unacceptable. Forget about it being 2025. This thing wouldn't be acceptable if it came out 30 years ago. The Miatas of 30 years ago were much better built vehicles. They drove better stock. They were freer revving. They were just a lot more engaging. They had steering feel. They had more room on the inside. I don't know, guys. I don't know. The Miata Mafia, just hang me now. My opinions are not going to change. A couple other interesting things on the interior here. The brightness is hidden up here for the gauge cluster, but it doesn't link the screen brightness. You can see, gauge cluster gets bright. Screen doesn't change at all. And Creates Crush Solution, it's not even that bright. I'm going to leave it at that brightness, but the screen is way too bright. I'm wondering if there's a way to turn that down, but again, it just goes to the poor engineering. And I like the infotainment system in this. It reminds me of BMW's iDrive. Like, I like the functionality with the wheel. It's clicky and it works. It's quick. I have no issues with the way the infotainment works. I just weird things like the brightness being like that, the seating position, the wind buffeting, the terrible engine, the terrible suspension, the conservative programming of the stability control. I mean, when a Miata isn't even fun anymore, I think it signifies the problem. I think it's just a microcosm of the problem of the entire automotive industry. Nothing is fun anymore. They've taken a Miata and made it not fun. We are in a sad state. I mean, this is the early 70s all over again. I think dark days are ahead. I think we're in like 1971, and 1973, 74 is coming with all these EV mandates, and we're just in dark times. I'm trying to be positive about it. That's why I keep buying cool cars and taking videos of it. And, oh, we might watch an accident here. Wow, that was close. I try to, put my own spin on it and show you what I do like to buy. But, yeah, just very disappointing that even a Miata isn't fun anymore. But, hey, guys, I really appreciate you watching. My videos have been doing really well, and a lot of it are return subscribers, so thank you. Feel free to comment if you want to see anything else. If you want to see more standardized testing, I could try and do some 0 to 60s maybe in rental cars, or maybe report better on fuel economy. I don't know. I've got all sorts of thoughts for this rental car section, so let me know in the comments. And thanks again for watching. I really appreciate everybody who tunes in, whether it's your first time or you've been watching for a while. So back to driving.